Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of Battlestar Galactica. So many cool comments that were incoming, really appreciate that, a big deal. Also huge shout out to all of my patrons out there. There was only one minor goof as far as I could tell from editing the video, and I didn't really receive any feedback in respect to goofs, and I think that's easily fixable because as part of this crisis card here, Rescue the Fleet, I should have lost one more morale here. So that's kind of a problem already. So things start to look nasty. And I already used one of these inspirational speeches, which the role I whiffed. So that's not a great position to be in. Apart from that, I think we should be in an okay shape. So we are moving into the next round. So let's gather our cards. We are already at 8, so we need to spend some of those cards. But we will for sure go for 2 more piloting cards because I want the maximum firepower for sure. Last round I was using, I think I will take a green one from down here for lower Roslin's assist character's ability. And yeah, we are going for one more tactic at least. We have the strategic planning. Maybe instead of the strategic planning or for the, well, let's go for one more green. So we have all the colors in our hands. So let's have a quick look at those before I put in here. Consolidate power, executive order is back. Launch scout, we already know. Evasive maneuver, and oh, we don't have the maximum firepower. That's certainly a bummer, but yeah, I gambled and I lost. But here I was really hoping for the maximum firepower to get rid of some more of those raiders here. I can still take 2 actions though. That's still okay because I started my turn while piloting a Viper. So we might be able to do that. I think we have to get rid of those, right? Because that's the main thing. They will try to attack me. I might end in sickbay. We have a lot of evasive maneuvers though. So I think overall that's also not terrible. But yeah, let's go after one of those guys here. Again, they are destroyed on a 3-8. That's our first action. We are skipping our movement step because that's the position we need to be in. That's a 4. That's good enough. I take that. Then our second action, we are going after the second. Oops, raider doesn't count. That's an 8. Oh, why didn't I announce the base star here? But okay, that's not bad either. So we have taken care of them, although he will definitely go after us. We have a hell of a lot of evasive maneuvers, and I think we can do that more than once if I recall that correctly. But anyway, those were my actions, which means, yeah, we are moving directly into the crisis step. So this is our card. And oh no, that's a terrible one. That's a truly terrible one. Surrounded. Yeah, let's see about that. So first of all, we will activate the base stars here. We have 2 base stars on the board and they will always attack or try to attack the Galactica, and they will hit us on a 4-8, and evasive maneuvers, yeah, any Viper is attacked. That's a bummer. So first base star is trying to attack us, and that's a 5. Yeah, that's a total hit. So we are drawing our first damage counter, and here we have I think that's the Admiral's quarters. Exactly. Not the worst thing in the world, because that's something where we are typically sending Cylon characters to the brig. We know there aren't any real Cylon players out there. Yes, Laura Roslin might turn against us at some point in time, but she's not really a player at that point in time. Still, we have to do damage control here because, again, if there are 6 counters on the Galactica, then we have also lost the game. Problem is we have to roll again because we have a second base star. And that's a 6. That's also a hit. Wow, I told you, that's terrible. So let's see what we got here. And I think that, yeah, that's the armory. That's definitely a problem, because that means if we are getting a Cylon boarding party, we won't be able to attack those. And they're also defeated on a roll of 7 to 8. And there can be multiple of those on there. But yeah, this was only the activations of our base stars. But of course, there is more to do. We are setting one more base star. And I think in this case, we are not doing anything. We already have the maximum of base stars on the board. That's 2. But we will put a heavy raider out here and 4 more here. And we have a special rule here, which is panic. The current player must discard 3 skill cards, which isn't the end of the world because we really have to. Yeah, we have to discard those anyway. But let's set up those raiders and heavy raiders. So let's see. We are bringing out 1 heavy raider up here and yeah, 3 normal raiders. Well, these guys are really nearby, so we have to jump. The problem is this card doesn't come with a jumper. We don't get the base star here. I think it stays where it is. We are bringing out 4 more in the front of the Galactica. It's terrible. We are bringing out 2 more Vipers. They're just launched here. We are bringing out 1 more of those fellas and 2 more ships down here. And again, with the base game rules, these guys will stay on the board until we are jumping, and then everything gets wiped. And that's the thing about the Exodus with the Cylon fleet board, where the relative positions stay intact. So when we are jumping out, all the ships will remain where they are. And at some point in time, those guys will come back. But this will then pretty much all look the same way. And also the civilian ships will stay out, which is why you have the rule in, I think it's also the Exodus expansion, where you can then escort those civilian ships out as an action. But yeah, that was our first Cylon attack card we have seen. There are a lot of those in this deck. That was actually pretty bad. Let me show you this. And I guess then we are moving. No, we still have to discard some cards, right? Yeah, we have the panic. The current player must discard 3 skill cards. And we are totally going for the XO. We will also go for, and I think, yeah, let's go for 1 of those, right? That's 3 cards. This brings us to 10 in total, which is okay. I think 10 is the maximum. I think if we would have more than 10, we would have to discard down accordingly. Okay, that was our round, and it was a terrible round. Let me show you this. I mean, look at all this. And right now, we really might want to consider making it here to the FTL control and hoping, basically going for Hail Mary. Because if, yeah, I mean, we have still 2 more orders and we don't know what's coming. I mean, next round, yeah, I mean, even if the raiders would attack or would activate, they would only move in here and then they would still not activate us. Yes, here we definitely have some problems for sure. They will most likely, one of those will be able to take out Starbuck here, but also those guys could activate again and could do 2 more damage. And then I'm really in this bad shape because I'm not having a lot of those repair cards. I have 1 in my hand, which is good. So with a repair card here, we could basically repair the current location. So we could move somewhere into the armory, for example. Or if we are in the hangar deck, then we can also repair up to 2 damaged Vipers, which is something that you have to do when you're using the upgraded Viper machines from one of the expansions. And again, I keep forgetting which expansions those are in. But again, we have to draw cards anyway now. And again, we will definitely go for a yellow card. That's the card we get for Laura Roslin. Then we will totally go for another tactics card. So let's do that in the proper order. Maybe we will even go for 2 of those. Then let's go for another blue card now, which means this was the red card, and then we take 1 more red card here. And I think then we should be in an okay shape, right? Though these are 2 purple cards, correct. Strategic planning, that's great. We have a yellow card somewhere in here. No, that's a blue. It's a repair card, cool. But also, again, base game, blue cards, there is not a lot of variety. And the maximum firepower, now it's out. But it wouldn't have changed anything. So I guess overall, it was an okay draw, but we might have to discard down significantly unless we are really drawing now a really nasty crisis card. But I think now in this round, I feel we might be able to overcome a skill check. Okay, and then it's our turn. And I guess with our movement, we finally want to use our movement. I think that's the very first time we're really using our movement in this playthrough. We are moving this Viper back into the hangar, and which means we are removing Starbuck back on board the Galactica. And I think we will totally go to the FTL control. I still think we will get, yes, 2 turns. Because when you start your turn piloting a Viper, you may take 2 actions doing that. And we did do that. Even though we have now moved into the Galactica, that's still fun. We have to discard a card here, because that's what you have to pay when you are traveling between ships and a Viper. So we are getting rid of this launch scout here. And I could now really imagine to really do launch a scout now with our very first action. And we get 2 actions. Pretty sure this counts, right? When you start your turn piloting. Yeah, we did start the turn there. So we will launch the scout, which means as an action we can now risk 1 raptor. We have 4 of those right now in our raptor reserve, and to roll a die. If 3 or higher, we can look at the top card of the crisis or destination deck and place it on the top of or bottom of the respective deck. And as we are now planning to jump, or we are going to jump right now, I think let's definitely do that. Of course, I could now go for a strategic planning, but I would rather not, because they are very high. Let's not do that. I mean, we need a 3 or higher, right? 3 or higher, 3 or higher. Yeah, of course, that's a 2. Okay, so we have risked a raptor, but we lost. So this raptor is out of the game for good. It will never come back. Again, there might be cards in a later expansion or so which gives you some back. But here not so much. That's pretty much it. So that was already a terrible, terrible first action. And as for our second action, we will now activate the FTL control. We will jump the fleet if the preparation track is not in the red zone. It's not in the red zone, but we still have to roll a die now. So the jump will succeed. That's something that will totally happen. But if we are now rolling not good enough, then we are definitely in a problem, which means we will definitely play the strategic planning now, play before any die roll to add +2 to the result. And if we are now rolling 6 or lower, yeah, we are basically toast. So we really have to roll high. Again, this is a +2, so ideally we are hoping for a 5 or higher in this case. Come on, you can do it. It's an 8, it's an 8, it's an 8, it's an 8. You are so amazing. We didn't even need to use this or use this card here. This is so amazing. So a lot of things will happen now. We will move back here to the start of the jump track here. Again, for the next at least 2-3 more rounds, we are not going to jump, but that's totally fine. We will now remove all the ships around the Battlestar, or around the Galactica. I keep telling the Battlestar, the Galactica in this case, and then we are going to draw 2 of those destination cards. So let's do some cleanup here, but I think let me do that off camera. I think that's really not fun to watch. Okay, I cleaned up, so we are drawing our first 2 cards. This was really was hoping for this scout to use it, and here we have the Cylon refinery, and we have the Tilium planet. This is something again which the Admiral does, and the Admiral does this hidden. So they are drawing these 2 cards and they making the choice. If, of course, the Admiral would be a Cylon player, they would go for a very bad card of those. But that's also helps driving the paranoia. So let's say the Admiral only draws cards with a value of 1 here, for example. And then he has to play a card with a value of 1. That's usually always leads to the suspicion where someone says, hey, why are you playing this weak card here? You are the Cylon and whatnot. And he said, no, they were only cards that showed a 1 or whatever. Or the other one was terrible because we would have lost a lot of resources or people or whatnot. So that's really such a cool part in this game. But let's have a closer look at those. And ideally, we really want to go for the higher ones. So again, I would have preferred a 3, but it is what it is. Lose 1 fuel, you lose 1 fuel. That's the same thing. The Admiral may risk 2 Vipers to roll a die. If 6 or higher, gain 2 fuel. Otherwise, damage 2 Vipers. That's really not bad. Just damaging those, that's great, actually. In the Tilium planet here, may risk 1 Raptor to roll a die, gain 2 fuel. No, I think we will totally go for the Cylon refinery. So this goes to the bottom of the respective deck. And again, we may now risk 2 Vipers to roll a die. If a 6 or higher, we would gain 2 fuel. So first of all, we will lose 1 fuel, which is a pretty normal thing when you jump somewhere. So that's okay. And then, yeah, we are totally risking 2 of those Vipers here. So they are now going after this Cylon refinery. And we have to roll die. Do I now go for another strategic planning? I don't think we do. Because the only other strategic planning we have is a 5. And I don't want to part. I'm okay damaging 2 Vipers actually right now. I know I'm a lousy admiral, but that's okay. They're not destroyed, they're just damaged. And again, we need a 6 or higher in this case. And it's a 6! Ah, you are amazing. What a crew, what a crew. Amazing. So those guys go back to the reserve. We go 1, 2. So we are now even above our starting position here. That's amazing, at least for fuel. We have lost some morale. We didn't lose any population. So I think Starbuck is very much capable of running that ship here. Awesome, amazing job. Wow, that was an amazing turn. We are drawing our next card. And that's the food shortage. So I think that's, that might be a nasty one. Get the names of those ships. Tell their captains to go on emergency rations immediately. Laura Roslin. I mean, I shouldn't have used my deep voice here. Okay, the president chooses. Which are we? And -2 food or 1 food, and the president discards 2 skill cards. Then the current player discards 3 skill cards, which means we would have to lose 5 cards in total. But I think that's what I will totally do, because I have to remove some of those cards anyway. Yeah, let's totally do that. So we will go for the ore, which still makes us lose 1 food, but that's, I guess, okay. But then we have to discard 5 skill cards in total. So we will go for a launch scout, because we will get them back. We will go for scientific research is also not a terrible card. But we will definitely get rid of some of those evasive maneuvers, because right now we don't need them. I think we can discard all 3 of them. But there are no raiders on the board. And for our second, should we go... No, let's go for a repair card. I think right now we only need 1 repair card, and maybe I should have zoomed out. Sorry for that. Lame view. So that's the card that I have discarded for this card. We have still lost some food, but I will take that. There are no raiders on the board. There is no base star on the board, so we are not adding any of those, which is cool. But we still have the jump icon here, which means the jump preparation advances right off the bat again. Amazing. Okay, that was a pretty cool turn. We are removing the food shortage here, and I guess let's do 1 more round. Let's draw some cards, and I discarded a lot of red cards, so I will go for 2 more red cards. I think we will also go, another yellow card now, or not. I mean, we don't have any green cards in there, and I still feel... Let's go for a blue card now for this below here, and then I think we will go for 1 purple and 1 yellow card. And again, the yellow card we are allowed because our assist character is a political leader. So that's consolidate power. Yep, that's a cool one. We can still use it. We have another launch scout. I will take that. We have scientific research. Again, these are cool. Evasive maneuvers back, and again, maximum firepower. Okay, I think really in the red deck there are only 2 types of cards. So overall, that was an okay draw. We are again above our 10, which is okay, I guess. So what actions are we going to take? And I think in this case it's rather simple. For our movement, we are moving here to the armory, and for our action we are playing the repair card, which says repair your current location, which we are doing. So this thing is fully healed, fully repaired. Again, this card gets discarded, and that's typically how a turn looks in Battlestar Galactica. You're going somewhere, playing a card or doing something what it says on those things. But even that tiny little bit of action can lead to amazing discussions around the table. Why did you go there? Why didn't you go there? Why didn't you shoot the base star out there? This wasn't our worst thing to take care of, for example. I don't care about the armory, you are the Cylon. So that's all part of the paranoia in this game. But yeah, that was already our action step. So again, we are moving back to the crisis. So let's see what we get. And here we have informing the public. I also strongly recommend alerting the public to the Cylon threat. Hadrian. Okay, the current player chooses, which is always us. Okay, we can go for the skill check, which is a 7. Doable. We could lose 2 morale if we are failing this. So this could be, if we are going for this, then we really have to be super sure. 7 is not a problem, and we have the cards. But again, we have the Destiny deck against us. So that's always something to keep in mind. Or we could simply roll a die, and on a 4 or lower, -1 morale and -1 population. Right now we have a lot of cards out there, and I think we have to discard cards anyway. So I guess in this case, I think we should try it. Unfortunately, we only can play yellow cards unless we are saying we are going with a scientific research here. Yeah, I think let's do that. Let's do that. So we go into the skill check. Before we do the skill check, we are saying play before cards are added to a skill check. All engineering cards, or the blue ones, count as positive strength, which is amazing. Normally blue would count against us. In this case, they count against us. This card we played, unfortunately, the 3 here doesn't help us. So that's a card we have played pretty much beforehand. So we are adding 1, 2 cards from the Destiny deck. So we don't know what those are, but chances are that we get some yellow ones, because I believe, from what I remember, the first check we did, there weren't any yellow cards from the skill check here, from the Destiny deck. So we will definitely play the scientific research now into the skill check. So this, again, this is out. This is out. It just tells us that blue is positive. So that's already a 4, which is perfect. Then we will go for this one here. In total, that's a 7, because again, they count for us. And I think we will go for 1 more, which will bring us to a 9, which is okay. But I want to make it super, or not super sure, but at least a little bit more sure even. So we are playing another 1 here into that skill check. So let's see. Yeah, you should be able to see that, right? So sorry for that. So we have now 4, 7, 9, 10 points on the plus side, and then we are stopping here. So we will reveal the cards here. So that's a negative. So we are at 8. Come on. 8. Yes. Ooh. Wow. Extremely close. So this counts for us. This counts against us. So that's 11 on the plus side. -2. That's a 9. So we have passed this check here. Perfect. And this says the current player looks at 1 random loyalty card belonging to any player. But here I really didn't want to lose any morale and population in this case. So I think that was, wow, extremely close, but I still take it. So our reward is to look at 1 random loyalty card belonging to any player. It's random here, so let's simply roll a die. 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6. And that's a 2, so we're looking at this card here, and that's not a Cylon. The thing is, we are now shuffling this again, and I have no clue. Behind my back, top, bottom, it's only 2 cards. It's really tough to shuffle. So we are now rolling another die to say if this goes on top or if this goes on top. 1, 2, 3, this goes on top, and so on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, this goes on top. So that again, and I have somewhat shuffled this as much as I can, but at least we know 50% of those cards are you are not a Cylon. And there are a lot more cards out there, but that was okay. And yeah, oh, I almost forgot, the informing the public also had a radar symbol. We don't have any ships here out on the board. That's kind of a bummer, because that's, I think, the one critique about the base game. If you are, let's say, somewhat lucky, or if the Cylon player is unlucky and no Cylon attack cards come up, no ships will show up. This is what has kind of been fixed with the Exodus Fleece board, because for every symbol here, you are then advancing there is another track then for the Cylon fleet board, and when you're also reaching then a threshold, then the fleet is jumping back in, and then you are really in a bad shape. But okay, we are going for this jump icon here, which means we have nearly made it to our next one. But I think in this case, as there is no pressure, we will definitely not jump here. Here, I would consider it. Here, not so much. Okie dokie, let's do one final round for this playthrough. Let's see how quickly things move. I don't know. We are drawing our cards, and yeah, we will go for definitely, yeah, strategic planning would be nice. So we will go for 2 more, and maybe we want to also launch another scout maybe this round. This could be okay. We will go for another blue card because we are out of blue cards down here. So this leaves us with definitely 1 red, and yeah, I guess we will go for another yellow card now because we have lost a lot of those. So let's see, that's the blue card, that's in repair. That's okay, we can do something with that. This is the yellow card, that's the consolidate power. We know this one for sure. We have maximum firepower, which is also okay. Launch scout, we know the drill there too, and we have another launch scout. So overall, not bad cards. But what actions are we going to? We could now move to the admiral's quarters here and simply repair that. And right now, I'm somewhat tempted to do that. I think, yeah, this would be okay. We are then at 10 cards exactly. I mean, repairing the Battlestar or the Galactica while no ships are around us, which would make sense. And currently there's also no pressure launching a scout actually. Of course, we could use the scout to tweak our crisis card accordingly. But right now, again, there is no rush. So yeah, no, let's do that. So we are moving here to the Admiral's quarters. I mean, it's our quarters after all right now. And we are playing the repair card here, which means we are shuffling this token back into the pile. This card is gone, and yeah, that's again already the end of our turn. So let's draw our next crisis card, and that's again the food shortage. Yeah, I think it is really out there more than once. So here's the food shortage we had before, so I'm not cheating here in any way. And I think, yeah, it's even the same name. So nothing, or it's even the same flavor text. Take it slowly here. So it's pretty much the same deal. We can either lose 2 food right off the bat. We already lost 1 food, so not so sure if we want to do that. Or we can do this, and then again we would discard a ton of cards, 5 cards in total. But right now I still feel that's our better bet. So we will go down to 6 food, and then yeah, we are discarding, wow, 5 cards again. So the next skill check will be terrible. So we will definitely get rid of 3 of our launch scout cards. That's for sure. We will go for 1 evasive maneuver and 1 more. Yeah, let's go for the consolidate power for now. Yeah, these are the 5 cards we are discarding. We have already reduced our food down to 6. Morale is at 8. Fuel is at 9. Amazing. Again, no raiders out there, but we will see a jump preparation, which moves us out of the red zone here. We will be able to jump, but I think right now there is no reason to do that. So I can, yeah, let's do definitely 1 more round now. So we will totally go for 2 tactics card because we have removed a hell lot of those. We will go for a blue card for sure, because we are out of blue cards, and if we want to repair something or whatnot. And then yeah, let's go for 1 more piloting card and 1 green card, a yellow card for, we could also go for a green card now. Because yeah, again, we can use our assist characters, and we have a strong yellow card out there, the investigative committee, which is a 5. So let's go for a green card now instead for our red card. We can still do that too. So that's the blue card, that's a repair. I take that. The green card is most likely in executive order, exactly, and it's also one that's terrible. Evasive maneuvers, which is okay. We didn't have one actually. Launch scout, yeah, we need a launch scout, and another strategic planning, a 3-1. Okay, I take that. But what are we going to do now actually? The ship is fully repaired. There are no raiders out on the board. We could go to the research lab just to give us another engineering or tactics skill card. I think in this case, yeah, no, I don't think that's what we need to do. In theory, we could also go to the command here to activate up to 2 unmanned Vipers, which could prepare us to move out. But again, we have already progressed on the jump preparation track, so that somewhat feels lame. There is one other alternative which I'm considering right now, and that's to move to Colonial 1 into the President's office. If you are the President, draw 1 quorum card, and then you may then draw additional quorum card or play 1 quorum card from your hand. And I think we should now prepare ourselves. I think let's totally do that. So we are moving to the colonial one because we have traveled between ships. We have to discard a card. And yeah, we are totally getting rid of the executive order right now, which doesn't help us in any way. And this now really says, as our action, if you are president, which we are, we will draw one quorum card, which is this one. You may then draw one additional quorum card, or we can play one card. So we can check out this card before we make our next choice. And here again, we have the inspirational speech, which would allow us to roll a die. And again, if it was 6 or higher, we could regain one of our morals. And I think that's not the end of the world. And if we play this with a strategic planning, let's do that. I mean, there's nothing better to do right now. So we are definitely playing the strategic planning. Play before any die roll to add 2 to the result. And that's really a card you can also play outside of your turn, which is typically a very cool thing if you want to prove to someone, hey, I'm not a Cylon, I'm playing this strategic planning here that your role is better. But of course, you may still be the Cylon and just want to play it safe. So we get a +2 on this die roll here, and we are looking for a 6 or higher. So a 4 or higher, which would regain us some morale. And that's a 5 + 2, 7. Perfect, which means we get 1 morale back. Amazing, amazing. Really a great job, Starbuck. I know why you are my most favorite character. Okay, let's play a crisis card. So let's see what we get, and that's requested resignation. I'm going to have to ask you for your resignation, Madam President. Will you, Madama? No. Then I'm terminating your presidency. Yeah, that was a nice one. The Admiral chooses. Okay. The President and the Admiral both discard 2 skill cards, which would be 4 skill cards in total again. I'm the President and I'm the Admiral, which again is not the end of the world. Or the President may choose to give the President title to the Admiral or move to the brick location. Yeah, I think here I really need to play this. Of course, I could now play literally and say, okay, I will give the President title to the Admiral, but because I am the same, I cannot do that, right? So in this case, the or would either be to go to the brick location, which not a good thing, or to really discard 4 skill cards. And I think in this case, let's get rid of the 4 skill cards. Again, this is one of those edge cases, so we are definitely getting rid of the evasive maneuvers, the repair, the launch scout, and then we will go for 1 maximum firepower. So that's 2 cards for the presidency, 2 cards for being the Admiral. So we have dealt with this card. Problem is there is no jump icon, jump preparation icon on this card. The base stars, I think, would shoot us. I think that's, I keep forgetting those icons here. That's really, and activate Cylon base star would be the one. Yeah, exactly. Our launch radars is a different symbol here. So nothing would happen here because again there is no base. I think there is. I think let me check again just to make sure. When a Cylon base star is activated, the base star attacks Galactica. The current player rolls a die for each base star on the game board to find out if the attack damages Galactica. No, I think nothing happens. Again, this would be one of the things with a Cylon fleet board which would make the fleet move closer to jumping back to our sector, so they are continuously searching for us. But in this case, I guess we can simply discard this card. So yeah, that was a rather dull turn. Yeah, no, we have regained some morale, so I think that's definitely an important thing. But I guess I will end my playthrough for today. Overall, we have made some progress. So we have already moved 2 basically distance points closer to Kobol with the Cylon refinery. And that's a card that stays next to our Kobol card. We are okay resource-wise. We have 12 population, 9 morale, 6 food, that's one thing, and 9 fuel. So we are even above our starting fuel reserve, which is honestly very amazing. We also know that Laura Roslin currently is 50% not a Cylon. That much is clear. So we have seen one of the cards, but we don't know what the other card is, of course. And this could be now, the other card could be the Cylon card. It's right now on top. But again, on the other hand, we still have 4 more cards here in this other rest of the loyalty deck, which we will then shuffle out when we are moving into the sleeper phase, which should happen, I guess, guess relatively soon. But apart from that, I think overall I feel cautiously optimistic, at least pre-sleeper phase, but that's also a very normal thing. Until the sleeper phase, everything is quiet and then things start to go south. But again, so far no Cylon player has messed with me, which is okay. But again, this might change. With our next action, maybe the Cylon fleet could jump back. Then yeah, we could again consider if we want to jump out or not. Things will start to look very nasty as soon as we are starting to lose our first of those civilian ships here. I think 1 or 2, that's okay, but then we will definitely see that our resources will start to go down. Apart from that, I really hope you are still enjoying my little solo playthrough of Battlestar Galactica. I also left in the description of my very first video the link to the solo rules, or it's basically, I think, variant rules. It also includes the small tweaks for the cooperative play. So yeah, go check it out and try it for yourself. And yeah, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye bye.